In this video, I'm going to be explaining to you what the difference is between a standard deduction and an itemized deduction. I'll also be giving you guys questions to ask yourself to figure out which one is ideal for you and which one will save you the most money. This information is completely supplementary. If your taxes are more complicated, consult a tax expert like a CPA or a tax attorney for your specific situation. There are two ways of calculating the amount of money that can be deducted from your taxes every year: the standard deduction and the itemized deduction. It would make the most sense if I explain a little bit about how taxes work. The Internal Revenue Service, the IRS, requires that everyone is required to pay income taxes on the money that they've earned each year. And the IRS allows a qualifying amount to be deducted from your earned income every year, which saves you more money on your taxes. And when I say deducted, I just mean subtracted. Let's say in 2020 you made $50,000 and you qualified to deduct $15,000 from your taxes. Without the deduction, and ordinarily you would need to pay taxes on the $50,000, but with your deduction you will actually only have to pay taxes on $35,000 if you have a $15,000 deduction. So first I'll explain what the standard deduction is. In 2020, the standard deduction for a single person is $12,400. And if you qualify as either married filing jointly or married filing separately or something else, I will link the IRS's website down below for what the standard deduction is for those people. And that amount is set by the IRS and changes a little bit every year. Everybody gets this deduction no matter what. Typically, if you make less than the standard deduction, then you don't need to file your taxes for that year. So this means if you are single and you make $50,000, as I said before, you would ordinarily need to pay taxes on the entire $50,000. But with the standard deduction, you only have to pay taxes on $37,600, which is $50,000 minus the standard deduction, which is $12,400. And this $37,600 is what they call your taxable income. The standard deduction was created to make it easier for Americans to do their taxes. The itemized deduction is a little bit more complicated than the standard deduction. Instead of taking a standard deduction, you can itemize the deductions that you qualify for. I actually made an entire video on a bunch of deductions that you can qualify for. Some examples of qualifying deductions may be donations to qualifying nonprofits, qualifying medical expenses, and mortgage interest. For example, in 2019, I had hip surgery, and between the medical expenses that I had and the amount that I donated to my church, which is a qualifying nonprofit, along with other qualifying deductions that I had, my qualifying deductions, when I itemized my deductions, was greater than the standard deduction. So for me, it made more sense to itemize my deductions instead of taking the standard deduction because I would save more on my taxes. So which is the best for you? 9 out of 10 tax filers claim the standard deduction because it's easier. A lot of people just don't want the hassle of having to go through each deduction that they qualify for. The standard deduction allows you a deduction even if you have no expenses that qualify as a deduction. Also, for a standard deduction, you don't have to keep record of the receipts of the expenses that qualify as a deduction. And generally, without a mortgage, it doesn't make sense to itemize your deductions unless you're in a very special circumstance. Another thing to consider is the amount of time that goes into itemizing deductions. Some people, even if all of their deductions add up to more than the standard deduction, a lot of people just take the standard deduction anyways because the standard deduction is a lot quicker than having to go through all of the expenses that you would need in order to itemize your deductions. Personally, I do my taxes on TurboTax, and if you do your taxes on TurboTax, itemizing your deductions actually costs more than just taking the standard deduction. If you have any other tax questions that you want me to answer, let me know it down in the comments below, and hopefully you found this video helpful. And if you did, definitely go ahead and subscribe down below. My name is Adrienne and I'm currently studying to become a certified financial planner. I post videos every week on personal finance and learning to steward your money well. Thank you guys for checking out this video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye guys.